too bad they can't talk to us though.
Someone had a question on one of the posts, so I'll address it when we.
Okay. So I'd like to call to order the meeting of the Educational Advisory Board on April 10th, 2025. Shall we do a roll call?
Board Member Lexima.
Here.
Board Member for Lizzie.
Here.
Vice Chair Barron.
Here.
Chair Kaplan.
Here.
We have a quorum.
Okay. The Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, do we have approval of tonight's agenda? I would like to move that we approve.
I move to approve the agenda.
And a second?
We have a motion by Vice Chair Barron, seconded by Board Member for Lizzie. Roll call. Board Member Lexima.
Here.
Yeah, or no.
Oh, sorry, yes.
Board Member for Lizzie.
Yes.
Vice Chair Barron.
Yes.
Chair Kaplan.
Yes.
Motion carries. Thank you.
Okay, we don't have any public comments.
You have to do the approval of the minutes.
We do?
That was the next item.
The next item.
We need a motion.
I motion to approve the minutes from the previous meeting dated January 16, 2025.
Second.
You have a motion by Vice Chair Barron, seconded by Board Member for Lizzie. Roll call. Board Member Lexima. Board Member Lexima.
Yes.
Board Member for Lizzie.
Yes.
Vice Chair Barron.
Yes.
Chair Kaplan.
Yes.
Motion carries 4-0.
Okay, so that was the approval of additions, deletions, or modifications?
Minutes.
Minutes in the minute. Okay, now public comments?
I'm finished with this.
Public comments
Here.
at the end.
Oh, whoops. I'm on the
Here's
wrong one.
that, yeah, here's that order.
Looking at some old stuff.
An old one,
That's
sorry.
That's City Council. That's education.
Yeah, this was a.
I'll just give them a minute.
Unfinished business. Okay, this is something I had asked Jennifer to make copies of, because I was reading it, the position description for the EAB board. You folks maybe read it again more recently than I have, and I thought it's probably a good thing to read over it, because when I read over it, it kind of made me think about, some of the things that we are expected or can address based on what the description says. So it's no other reason than having it to take a look again, and if you have any questions or anything about it, to comment. So that's all that was. Any questions on anything or anything that jumps out?
I know that the middle school liaison was Keith.
Yes, we're gonna have to talk about the assignments, again. Because I've got like different versions here. So I wanna make sure I have the most up-to-date version of
Okay.
who's doing what school. And then we have to reassign. Keith's was, I think, Osceola Creek. Okay. School board meetings or PTA meetings. We had talked at the last meeting about attending school board meetings and or PTA meetings. I made an appointment on my calendar to attend the school board meeting on the 23rd of this month. So I don't know, have any of you been, some of you maybe have been to school board meetings lately, no?
Not this year.
It's probably kind of a good idea to see what their hot items are that they're talking about. And the other thing that I thought would be a good idea, and that was when we went to the other elementary school through Crestwind and talked about PTA meetings. Well, maybe you folks go to PTA meetings. The woman there then wouldn't give me an exact time, and I have her contact information. I haven't called her, but do you?
I've been as a parent to some of the meetings, yeah.
Do you think they would be helpful in terms of things that we focus on?
If we want to focus on volunteering, yes, because it's really heavy volunteering content at those meetings. Because the purpose of those boards are to raise money for the school. So it's a lot of like, this is what we're doing next, and this is how many people we'll need.
The issue I have with that, with the other elementary school, they let me know about volunteer opportunities and they put me on a Genius sign up.
Yeah,
And so we can go on and sign people up. But she only gives me a week or two notice. So if we don't get a head start with the other schools, then we're not gonna be able to get on board because it has to be approved by everybody.
so I guess what we could do is ask our schools that we're all kind of liaison for if they could do it ahead of time. Like my son goes to H.L. Johnson, the whole year is up for Santa Genus.
So how far in advance would we need to know before we could get approval? So 2 weeks before the city council meeting?
Oh, that's a good question.
Yeah.
Oh, is this for, what was the question?
When one of the schools that Pressman deals with, the elementary school, Oxyhatchee Groves, this PTA, the actual council, notifies me of volunteer opportunities, so I can put it up to my women's club, our women's club, and they can just sign up on the Sign Up Genius. But we can't do that with the board because we need so much notice ahead of time,
Like an approval too, right?
Do we need an approval of
Because
that
we all have to
before
be
we go?
present.
right?
To volunteer?
To volunteer,
Well, it's all volunteer, yeah.
is there a way to like, for the council just approve it, where the board can just decide who the volunteer people? Because to bring that to the council every month would be,
I think it's something that you probably could bring up during your comments, that, you know, this is some initiative they'd like to
Okay.
take on to volunteer and get their consensus.
That'll work
to do
too,
Okay.
because
Yeah,
then
that would
we're
be great.
actual volunteering,
yeah,
you know?
We
Gotcha.
provide as board members to get people to volunteer instead of going out just to our community.
Right,
Pressman.
yeah.
okay.
And then if we volunteer, do we still have to meet that criteria that all of us have to be present?
No, that's only for board meetings.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
No. Yeah, if you guys are doing separate events
Yeah,
outside,
No,
like
yeah.
fundraisers, that doesn't count.
Just to note, so it's not something that is identified in the ordinance, but there's a section, other duties. It says the board further shall perform such other duties as may be assigned by the city council from time to time. So I think it's something that you would just have to get an agreement from council.
Okay, I like that.
So we can put that on the next agenda.
And then, like I said, maybe we can talk to our schools and see if that's something they'd be willing to do, to just have everything out in advance.
And they can put us up in the Sign Up Genius and then we can go out and
Right.
have volunteers.
Do you guys know the sign of genius?
Oh, yeah,
No,
you
You
can
have to get it from the school.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's not something you can just like download and see.
some of the things in Pressman are Sign Up Genius. Like, we'll get a
Oh,
picture.
yeah, I know, I'm just asking if everybody else, I didn't know it until we
Oh, okay.
started using it in Crestwood.
But it's very,
Yeah.
it's nice, it's user-friendly visual.
Okay, anything else on item B? School board meetings, PTA meetings. Oh, one comment also. You said that the PTA meetings usually focus on funding. So, I'm hearing that you say they're looking for volunteer opportunities, but did they talk about ways to get funding?
So usually they already have an idea of their events, whether it's like the holiday shop or like my kid's school, it's
Like
Rita's
candy
Ice.
bars
Yeah, it's like
and
Rita's
stuff like
Ice
that.
every other Friday and just like ice pop Fridays. So just like random things like that where the students have to bring in cash to participate, or dress down Fridays.
Do they get students sometimes that don't get cash to come in to go?
Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
And they handle that in some way?
Not really, no. If you have the cash, you get the ice cream. If you don't, you don't.
So that's something
Maybe
to
that's
think
something that we
about,
could
you know,
do.
that's
Yeah,
kind of
that's-
sad
yeah.
around the holidays and stuff.
And the slush fund, no
Yeah.
A slush
unintended,
fund
but
or
Like the
something,
slush fund,
yeah.
the slush fund for the slushies, yeah, to have the principal, I know at my daughter's school, that the parents, you can send in extra money. So if it's like $5
Yeah.
for Kona Ice or whatever, you can choose to send in extra for the other kids.
Oh.
And so, yeah.
Yeah, because one of the kids that time that I was helping, you know, there was one kid that had $20 and one kid that had $3. You know, there's a big,
Oh,
you know, kind of. And I thought, well, if he only has $3, I bet there are some kids that can't even
Have any dollars.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anita. One thing I was gonna mention, you know, if you guys did not want to travel to West Palm Beach to a school board meeting, Wellington and Royal Palm also have their education advisory boards, but they meet every month. But they bring the district in, like Marsha Andrews comes, principals come, and they give an update about the numbers, and also the school district employees come. So that might be something, we both attended the one in Wellington, I've attended the one in Royal Palm, just when we were drafting how we were gonna move forward with this. But it might be something good to go to, just to sit in. We're at nighttime as well. And they bring students in to sing a song or read a story, whatever that might be. So it's something we could potentially do in the future. But if you all wanted to just not travel all the way to West
Yeah,
Palm
no,
Beach,
that
you know,
makes sense.
Forest Hill, but go to maybe Royal Palm one month. Just
I like
to
that.
sit for
Yeah.
a meeting. It's, you know, an hour and a half, 2 hours, and that's, you know. at night.
Yeah, you know, you told me or somebody else told me Marsha's retiring.
Yeah, she's great. Yeah.
She was great,
Well,
yeah.
good for
I
her.
know.
She's just not running again. Yeah.
Good
she's
for
not-
her.
Well, she's just not running. It doesn't mean that she won't be doing some of these things, hopefully.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
We had her not that long ago at the council
Mm-hmm.
meeting, yeah. She's really great. She's been a
Awesome.
help
She is.
to me
She's very
in terms of ideas and things.
And we still need to work on trying to get all the schools zoned so our students are going to our schools, not 20 minutes away.
Yeah.
That's a big
The
Big
rezoning, yeah,
issue.
we talked about that with
Yeah,
her.
yeah. She said to reach out to, I guess there's a person that she knows who's key. I have the name written down somewhere, but I talked to, you know who came up to me and said something to me was the woman that's the attorney. I have her card, the business card. She works for Minto, and she said she was part of the group that worked on setting up the.
Oh, yes, when the city was founded.
Yeah, and she said it was just kind of quick and Tara Dewey,
Yeah, and that was
Yeah.
before there was homes here, and you know that was just the start when everything was dirt.
right,
And the school district didn't know what to expect really either.
right. But that would have to go through the school district,
Yes.
right, yeah. And
Zoning
would
for the
that,
students all
would that be a big thing? I mean, would there be,
And how you think it's, I don't like his name. Stephen Livid,
How do you spell the last name?
Liveid. I could have made that up. Could have made up the spelling.
Yeah,
Oh.
it's not something that we would bring, from my understanding of the conversation, it's not something that we could bring right now and it could be implemented for the next school year. It would have to be for like the following school year.
I would say we should try to aim for it for when the elementary school's opening.
Yeah,
So
that-
which is
So holiday.
sooner,
So
sooner.
the construction starts August 26th, but opens school year of 27.
Right.
So that's something we would need to bring to the district like
Like
now.
now.
Yeah, because you know, we're already gonna be
Between
speaking
now
to them
and
about the zoning
September,
and all of that
and
for that
saying we
school.
need to work on this. And also make the new elementary school is all Westlake. You know, that
And
is-
then it hopefully has a
I
gifted
mean, they
program.
can have other people, we have to make sure that our students,
Get seated first.
yeah, seated.
Before they do open enrollment, which from my understanding is it's gonna be full anyway,
Yes.
so.
They're hoping that since they're building the one by Arden, that's gonna alleviate some.
Yeah.
And then they have the one that's coming here.
I
in 2
thought they
years.
were all going to Wellington schools.
Well, Wellington's, southern schools are all going to the new Arden school.
Hmm?
Western schools,
The Western schools.
Western schools, and the
Yeah.
municipality are moving there.
Supposed to be built by 2027, right?
That one's supposed to be open by 26th of August.
Yeah. Ours is 27.
Oh, okay.
No, I'm sorry, I
No,
think it
it's
opens,
this-
it's this,
it's this August.
it's this
Yeah,
August.
yeah.
I did the
August.
groundbreaking,
Yeah.
yeah, so it's this August.
They just
Yeah.
announced
They
like
all
what they
run
were naming
together.
it a few months ago.
Yeah.
Oh, when did they?
Because I think the
say
building's
that?
already painted too, so it's all white.
Yeah, it's something to do with
Something
horses.
horse related.
I
I
don't
wanna
know.
say it's Saddle View,
Yeah.
maybe? Saddle View?
Saddle View?
But yeah, let's try to align that, so if we can get the middle school, the elementary school
I have
here.
3 names if you wanna jot them down. I had Stephen Livid, don't know how to spell Livid,
Livid,
that's how I did it.
poor guy, yeah.
Jason Link,
That's
That's the guy.
Okay, Jason Link and Christine Garrison. Those are the three names that Marcia Andrews gave.
About the,
Rezoning Osceola and Western Pines, the middle schools.
so what, they were on the committee?
Someone's in charge of it, like that's their sole purpose. is
Really?
Mapping out zones.
May I?
Sure, does everybody know who you are?
Oh, hi, Alicia Torres. I think,
Westlake
I
Wonder.
have.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, Westlake Wonder.
Reporter.
Thank
She's
God,
our
yeah.
reporter.
I just wanted to mention Jason Link. I knew I would remember the name
Okay.
if you gave it to me type of thing, but he gave a presentation, I want to say during COVID or something at a city council meeting. Do you remember this? It was brilliant. It broke down like all the demographics, how many enrollees every school had. And he's the one who will oversee any shakeup of rezoning in the area, at least
the
4
one.
or 5 years ago.
Okay.
So if his name
I was gonna
is
say, he
still-
probably still is,
Yeah.
if his name, if she brought it up.
Yeah,
Cause this
he was
was,
really articulate.
Why can't we get him on the
Last
agenda
April.
for the next council meeting? Can we do that?
Or you could have it for yourselves. Another option would be that the board writes a letter to the city council for the school district, that you guys are looking at the zoning of the schools, and that you're requesting the city council approach the school district to make sure these schools are within the zoning for the
Yeah.
students that are within Westlake.
Well,
And then that's something the
Yeah.
city can then go approve that and then send the letter off as a city. But
Okay.
it would come from the
Yeah,
board.
I just
Yeah.
want to make sure they're in the loop. I don't want us to be doing something and then the council
Oh, no,
doesn't really.
I would
I know,
believe
but-
that the whole council would support that.
I would
since, you know,
think so, yeah.
I don't see them not supporting that, but
Alright,
you never
tax
know.
dollars.
What's Christine's last name again?
on my list,
Christine? Yeah.
sorry, I have to go back. So remember when I was writing on my iPad with my thing and you're like, wow, that's so cool. That's how I found it. I can search the notes that I wrote.
Oh, my goodness.
So I searched zoning,
Wow.
okay. Christine Garrison, Garrison.
So are these people school board members?
Staff.
No,
Your staff.
they're staff.
Yeah.
Staff of the school board
Yes,
that have just been hired to deal with this?
yes, so they're like,
What do they do? Like, what is their job? The schools are already.
Study numbers.
Huh?
it's
Study
in like
numbers.
an analytics, like
There's a
statistics.
school bus department, there's all different departments that are monitoring all these issues.
Oh,
I mean, when you think about how many schools there are in the district, and then once they start to get overpopulated, they're the ones who decide when it's at capacity, how much capacity is, where they can shift the capacity if they need to build a new school or if they need to adjust the boundaries in order to accommodate growth or decline in enrollments.
Like, we have the new high school coming online, they're supposed to break ground in August,
This August?
at
By Avenue?
Seminole Pratt and Northlake.
Right?
So they're already, you see the trees are being cleared out, that's where the high school's going, the new high
That is
school.
just not a good location.
It's gonna be
Is
tight,
that
but
where it's going?
that's where they said it's going. And then the following year, our school will open, the elementary school. Yeah, but the next one's the high school. It's
So
over
glad I work remote.
there.
I don't have to drive.
That's why we need to.
The high
see it
school
open.
for us?
No, no, no.
We're
no.
still Seminole Ridge.
It's gonna, we still have Summer Ridge, but they're at capacity.
Right, so this is yeah,
This is
but that's.
overflow plus all the people that are out here moving.
so
There might
it's-
be
it's
some
not a West-
students,
It's not a Westlake
there
school.
might be some
then.
students that end up over there from Westlake.
But it's not
Program.
intentionally a
I was
gonna say.
Westlake High
No,
School.
it's
No, we won't be zoned for it.
No,
But
that'll be unincorporated in Palm Beach County, I think, unless, I don't think that's yeah, it's probably unincorporated. I don't think that's West Palm Beach.
Yeah, it's weird though, there's a little piece of that. Okay, let's move on to item number C, discussion of April 1st Westlake Council meeting, RE strategic plan report by Board Chair Kaplan. This one very interesting. What I did is I tried to talk a little bit about how we came up with the priorities that we want to address with our schools, how we did a little strategic plan. Very little compared to what they've been doing. We did it all in like one meeting, you know. But I think it was,
Small but
it
mighty.
was,
Yeah.
yeah, small but mighty. I think we then came to the 3 top areas, and funding got the most votes out of the top 3. So that's how we decided to work on funding. So I think whenever you mention the word funding, the attorney's ears get bigger, because that, I think, was really what started the discussion about, okay, now what we want to do is go about finding resources for the schools. How do we do this? And I explained to them that one of the topics that came up, I think I sort of started it when I was at the Loxahatchee Groves location of Culver's, and I saw, the things on the wall, and they were making money by having people show up on a particular evening, and a percent went back to the schools. So there was a little discussion about, the money doesn't come to you. I understand. I don't want the money. And don't take cash. I said, I never take cash. I don't know what they were thinking might happen. But then the whole issue was, how do we go about doing that? This was through the attorney. He was very sort of reluctant. I think it was the mayor that finally suggested, what if we said that these were definitely the Educational Advisory Board, but that they're volunteers? I'd say we are volunteers, but it seemed like tell me, because you that are listening, that
Who holds the money? Where does it go?
where does it go? But it wasn't just that, it was, now I forget the idea that I had.
Don't we have some kind of account that we would put it in?
No, they're saying that they would prefer it to go directly to the schools, but I would think the city has some kind of an account.
And we're
that
not
it goes
council members,
into,
we're just
right?
volunteers.
I think it does go directly to the
Where did
school.
the money go from the 5K?
Okay,
But if
so
we
that's-
did it overarchingly though, and we got a big pool, right? Because we're not determining like which school gets which restaurant, right?
No, but we're determining which school gets what money.
Right.
I think it would be which school gets what restaurant though. I think we would probably have to do like
It's
how,
probably cleaner.
Well,
and how
yeah.
we do the 5K, like every year we determine what school is gonna get the 5K.
Did we know
funds.
that in advance?
So I'll
I think we
just
did, right?
stop there with
Yeah.
the 5K is a city organized event. And it's mainly, once everything's accounted for, paid out to the vendors, whatever's remaining, the whole thing gets wiped out to whatever school that you choose.
Greg, where does it go? Is it a town account? City account?
It's a city account. So I know the city manager and the attorney really didn't want us to be another account holding for this particular program.
And we're not
So
council
they,
members. but
but if you're
volunteers.
volunteering, you're going to the restaurant, but you're supporting as like cheerleaders and being there, and then that money, whatever's raised that evening, goes to whatever school was selected for that month or whatever that might be. That's what it would be, that the money would not come into the city.
And it does not have to go through you.
Because the other issue is then it has to be audited. It's paying our accountants more to do that. It's another level, and then we have to have a staff person
I think
monitoring
that's
that.
okay
It's
for
just,
all of it.
it's a lot more.
It's okay because
The
we're
city doesn't
volunteers.
wanna do it. I'll just
And
say
then
that.
if we do it that way, then I would believe that the business would then receive a tax credit for making a donation, correct? Instead of just giving it to
Well,
us.
I raised that issue too. Unfortunately, I digressed and said, because we were talking about, where does this money go? And I said, well, I noticed that Wellington has a community foundation. Maybe that's something that we
It's a
want to have, a
501c3.
Westlake, community foundation. But I don't know if, and then I thought maybe we needed to be a 501c3. The attorney said no, because we already are. So
Usually
I don't know
the
if that
school
answers your
fundraisers, they go
question.
straight to the school.
From
Yeah.
the vendor.
Yeah, so at the end of the event, they come up with the calculation. It's usually on the receipt because they, on the back end,
Okay.
code everything into the registers.
Okay.
So it's all in there.
So then
And
we'd have to have a restaurant, school. restaurant,
Correct.
school.
So they would pretty much export all of the sales from the day.
Mhm.
The receipt will show this percent went to here, and then it's just given to the school. At least that's how it was when I did it, because I did something similar for Autism Speaks, and that's kind of how it was. It didn't even go through us.
it didn't
That
go
makes-
through another
that seems
entity.
the
Okay,
easiest.
all right,
Mhm,
that's
for sure.
good.
And the only thing I would say with what Wellington has is their 501c3, it's different because Wellington and Royal Palm they do different things, but they're larger.
Oh,
They
sure,
have
yeah.
a lot
Of
more money
course,
than
yeah.
we do.
I mean, this
So,
was just something to think
oh,
about.
no, it's good.
and I- you know,
and
I
it's
don't-
good to talk about, but yeah,
Yeah.
I think we're
We're not there yet.
not there yet.
I
We're
get it.
too young.
Let me see. Yeah, the top three areas that I related to the council was funding, volunteer opportunities, and school awareness. That's a broad category.
Right.
So the other issue that I brought up was the issue of business cards. I figured now it's my time to
Get it all out.
everybody and keep asking about the things that I hear so
I have to
thankful
like
about.
it.
Because I'm thinking, we're going into there, and people don't know us. We can put a stamp on us. Where? How are they gonna believe that we're really working for a group that we're saying we're volunteering for? Anybody could walk in.
Yeah.
So that went back and forth for quite a while. But once again, the whole issue of we're volunteers. Yes, we're volunteers. And when I showed them our wonderful crystal flyer and our nice letter, they said, you need to say something in there that you're volunteers.
Could this be on city letterhead? Even though we're volunteers?
It would be similar to, we probably can do what was similar to the one that's right there on by Anita's hand, where
This
it's the
one here?
vacancy, or it's the top portion.
Okay,
Say
so we can
Westlake,
identify them, okay,
yes.
perfect.
Now, we did discuss the business cards, and I believe it said yes, it would say your name, Education Advisory Board member, but then everything else would be city. It'd be the city address, city phone number,
Well-
and the info, oh, we changed that now?
So DJ was supposed to go back and do some research for you all. So I did follow up with him and he said it's fine, we can do
Who's
the,
him?
Attorney.
the attorney, sorry.
Oh,
DJ,
okay.
sorry.
Okay. Yeah.
City attorney.
My friend, yeah.
And so he said we can do the business cards, we cannot use the city logo. It will identify you all as volunteer members for the board. However, he said if the city manager approves the expense of getting everyone business cards. However, I did suggest to him that we could always do actual ID cards that you all could use, and we would invest in actually making them here in the office, because we also need them for staff. So we actually are gonna look into possibly doing
Like a
an
name
actual
tag,
ID.
or is it a
No,
plastic?
plastic,
Okay.
yeah, the hard, credit
Okay.
card.
In
material.
deference to a business card or just an ID card that we could pin on?
Correct, because I was saying that our hands were kind of tied with, you wouldn't have contact information on there based on what the city attorney said. So I said, well, it's really just kind of like a,
Why couldn't we have a
Identification.
contact phone number on there?
because you wouldn't use your personal and you wouldn't use.
The city's number.
The city's not gonna
City
create
number
an
doesn't
email
come
for
Why,
you.
why couldn't we put personal?
Because, I mean, there's so many, just from a legal standpoint, somebody could call you with official business and maybe you were having margaritas that night or something, and
I
there's
wouldn't
just.
answer.
That's what I do answer. Yeah, and I won't
I
put my
get
personal
text
information on there
message from
either.
the United States Department. I'm going, what the heck is this? I've never answered and nobody ever leaves a message. What is this? Yeah,
I
I
mean, we
don't
can always,
know.
if you're giving them the card, if we do get the paper cards, I'm sure you could handwrite your phone number or your email on the back to your discretion. I would not give out my personal information. That's just me.
What's the reason
Well-
for not having the logo on it?
You didn't tell me, I didn't.
I
Just said they
I
cannot
had
use
a,
business
I had a
name.
conversation with JP a couple of days ago. I'll tell you why. It was about something else on the agenda with him. But I also mentioned about the business cards. So he said, we can get the business cards. Don't worry about it. I'll take care of it. And he wanted us to have headshots. Was there any discussion about that?
I just find it odd that we're like sworn in, but then we're not real. You know what I mean? Like, why go through
It's
all the
very
hassle of
strange.
putting our hand on the Bible and swearing us in, but then like
Yeah.
we can't do anything.
Yeah.
We're apparently not being affiliated with the
Correct.
town in our.
Yet our agenda has the logo. So I have
It's very bizarre.
I'm sorry.
But
some feelings.
talk to JP though, will you? Cause he said, yeah, get me the information. What information do you want? And I think he said he wanted a headshot do you usually put headshots on business cards?
You can pass it to him, but I've gotten
Probably
direction from
to
the
announce
Or
us.
the, or the web, or on the, maybe
Yeah.
on the website, like how they have all of like the city council members, maybe they were gonna put us on the website or something like that.
Again, that's an expense that would have to go to council, because I don't know that.
Well, he
council-
said, no, you have to get the headshots, you said.
Oh, yeah.
I said, I have a good one.
All right, next fundraiser is for our headshots.
Yeah.
And some business cards.
We're a city board, correct?
Yes.
Then why can't we be affiliated with the city, with the logo? That just doesn't make any sense to me. Does that identify,
I
that would
say we
identify
invite the
us,
attorney to our next meeting.
that would identify us as, we're definitely connected to the town, to the
I
city,
know.
and we have
Most
a
people,
purpose.
like,
Well, maybe not, because when we were sworn in, he rushed out. He didn't even last very long at that one, so.
I don't know, JP was, we can get it done, but he wasn't, specific except for the headshot and all that, so as long as we can get something that, even if it's a laminate card or something on a pin, but I agree with you, I mean, how can we not in some way we're not volunteers that walked in off
said
the
Wellington has
street,
one?
we're a subcommittee of a bigger
Of a town.
committee.
They do have a board, but they don't have business cards either. Wellington or Royal Palm.
Wellington Education.
They don't? No?
But I believe their names, I don't know if both of them have it, but I think Royal Palm has the names on the website. I don't know if Wellington does though.
And your names are on our website as well.
Yeah,
Okay.
Wellington has names.
So we're
Yeah.
official then.
But I know they don't have cards.
Yeah. I like the badge idea though. It's a one-time
At least
expense.
something, yeah.
It's a one-time expense
Yeah.
and
You
I
had
think it
mentioned
helps
that,
getting
right?
on campus too.
When you were,
You know what I mean?
Greg, when you
Yeah.
were talking a little bit about it, you would talk about maybe.
We talked about the
that-
business cards that night, about it would be all city information,
Yeah,
because your information, the
No,
only thing
no.
down there is your name.
yeah, this was before that, the first time when we started talking about some kind of
Like a name
business
tag?
tag. You mentioned maybe we could get just a name tag or something.
Yeah, I like the badge idea.
I like the
what
badge
they
idea.
give
I
you
don't want a
leadership
name
Palm
tag.
Beach County
Yeah.
people, I don't
or
know
like
if
the,
it's-
just like how we have like our pool passes, like that, it has your
Yeah.
picture on it,
Yeah.
that, you just
I like that.
keep
Like
it on
a
the
lanyard?
lanyard.
Yeah, because you need to have some type of
Yeah, I agree.
identification on
I
school
think the name
campus
looks
too.
official too.
So, I have a question though, I know we're going back, but since the flyer was one of those things we knocked out in the one meeting and we were able to push forward, do we wanna just do our letter to the district about rezoning, right? Cause you said we'd write
If
a
you'd like
letter.
to, we can have that put on the city
Okay.
council meeting.
Yeah,
Yes, well,
she's
what-
like unbelievable.
She's good with
It's like
What are
2
some
minutes,
things
she's
we
got a
would like
letter
AI
coming
to
out,
put in
yeah.
here? So.
Are you on ChatGPT?
Yeah. So we want the importance of having our students attend a homeschool within their own city limits.
Mm-hmm.
And then what else? What are some other key
Yeah,
factors?
that's what our tax dollars go towards, right? The schools within our city,
Right? Yeah.
Well, it goes to all of the schools, but yeah.
but, yeah,
But not Osceola.
I mean,
Well, no, your property taxes,
Oh, that's the
60%
district.
of
Oh,
your
yeah,
property
yeah,
taxes
they-
are the
Yeah.
school district, so that all goes into one fund, and they divvy it up.
okay.
Interesting. But the way that the school works though is they get some type of funding per student in their building, no? Like
I
don't they
think
get?
they
That
do.
part I don't know.
I think
Yeah,
they do,
they do,
right?
it's like,
It's
so
a
that,
head
Okay,
count,
so
yeah.
basically we are technically giving
like keeping
Osceola,
money within
right?
our I mean, it's just even with logistics of being close, like.
Right.
Westlake was sold as a master plan community where everything would be accessible. Why do we have to bus our kids all the way over to Osceola when there's one right over there? And I think a majority of the middle school teachers in Westlake do teach at Western Pines as well. Like, I think it's just keep it in the community.
Which schools were here before Westlake?
Those three.
Those three.
Those three, okay. I don't know. Did you experience anything like this when you were assistant superintendent?
As far as districting,
Yes,
well, no, we had our own town and we had 5 schools.
and that was it. There was no-
Sometimes we had to re within the school district.
Oh, you
but
did,
that's-
that within the district.
Oh, yeah, but never outside.
So you were city schools, not county schools.
We were sitting,
Yeah.
Yeah, it's in
So that's-
Massachusetts. Yeah.
That's how it is in Ohio. I think.
Yes.
I do think.
it's all right, it's all right there.
Yeah.
It's not like-
So the big middle, right?
And the other thing I have asked the school district or Marcia about changing the school's city from Loxahatchee to Westlake, because they're in our city limits.
Oh, I
But they
wonder
said they
they'll
don't
go
do it because
crazy.
it's 33470 is listed as Loxahatchee by the Postal Service.
It
So
is.
that's why
Mhm.
they haven't changed it.
Yeah, I don't
When
think
is
they
that gonna
wanna be
get
part of
changed?
Westlake, you know?
Oh, they don't.
But sometimes when I tell people the city, they say, I don't see that. Do you see Loxahatchee growth? Yes.
Mhm.
So sometimes it pops up or Loxahatchee
Well, you
growth.
put your zip code in anytime you're buying something, whatever it pops up is Loxahatchee. So
It does
but-
do Westlake sometimes.
It does do Westlake,
Yeah.
yeah, sometimes, yeah.
We're doing that a lot lately, even all the way up at Hamlin. People are not happy.
I mean, isn't this somewhat also concerned about the ease of children and parents going to a school that's near them or?
Well, concept neighborhood schools
Yeah,
and convenience busing.
Yeah, I think
Convenience, yeah.
neighborhood schools create an environment of community,
Mhm.
right?
Absolutely.
Also, the need, I mean, if we have, would that eliminate buses then?
Well, we
Well, we
have
have the
passed.
intermodal pass
Yeah.
in the back.
So we wouldn't have all that bus issue that,
it might impact. I don't know if it would rid us of that right away, maybe at some point, but
Well,
I
that,
think
if
you're right.
that's true, though, it also eats up traffic.
Yeah,
Car traffic.
exactly.
And 160th does open, the school's gonna be so easy to get to. You
Yeah.
have to go all the way back around to
Mhm.
Orange,
Like
come
when we
around.
went to Lox Gross, I said, where the heck are we going? I couldn't believe
Oh,
it.
Golden Grove, Golden Grove.
yeah, it was like
Yeah, sorry.
so discombobulated to get there, and it's like,
Then we saw 60th Street, I mean, we live right there.
yeah.
I know, it's nuts.
One day, within 5 years.
Within 5 years.
Yeah.
Everything's 5 years, 5 years.
How were those people, Alicia? Do you remember when they spoke during the pandemic about the zoning and such? Were they concerned that it was a little unusual now and that it impacted people negatively in some way? They were?
So I looked it up, it was Jason Link, it was February 2021.
Okay.
And I still believe that we were doing remote meetings, like mandatory remote
yeah,
meetings
yeah.
at the time, maybe, or maybe I was just remote. But anyway, he was very professional. He told us, I believe it was him who told us a little bit about the history of when it was just dirt here. And Golden Grove and Western Pines wanted to put trailers on their property to account,
I've
you know,
heard
to
about that.
accommodate
Yeah,
the
I've
extra
heard about
students,
that.
but Minto
Mhm.
said, no, we're not having that eyesore out there. So they've been having to make do since then. And that has to do also with like pushing Westlake students further out, you know, to different schools. But like I said, he was very professional. He did acknowledge, you know, just the way things started was not great, and things are going to have to change really fast. But we had not at the time even come close to reaching the threshold, I believe, that would actually instigate or you know, an actual
Started,
rezoning
yeah.
situation. So
Because the groves and orchards hadn't even been built then.
The
No,
Meadows.
right. 2021,
The Meadows
no,
wasn't
yeah.
here.
Right.
Oh,
yeah.
it was
yeah.
Skyco wasn't here, nothing.
Okay, so it was, yeah,
It's just us.
But you think.
Yeah, exactly.
But who would be their contact to the city? You think that they would be?
They have regional directors.
Yeah,
But I know like when Wellington and Royal Palm, they show up to their meetings.
they do.
They do.
All the time.
And there's 2
Of their education meetings or the council?
education meetings.
Ah,
Uh-huh.
I mean, you can request it. You just
Yeah.
have to request and they'll come.
okay.
Yeah, I would start beating the doors down though, because Crystal is absolutely correct. If we have a new elementary school coming online for the 27-28 school year, now's the time to talk about rezoning. I'm hoping the county is already talking about it, because even now feels a little late. You know?
Yeah.
I have a draft if you guys want.
Yep.
It didn't seem that it was being talked about much the last time Marcia came.
Wow.
It was probably, about 6 months ago, at the beginning of the year.
I think they just moved up the school opening very
They did,
recently.
Yeah, they did, yeah.
Ours got moved up a year
Yeah, yeah.
That's what I mean. Yeah.
because it wasn't supposed to start until 27, breaking
Oh,
ground.
okay.
It opened in 28.
Yes, right.
Now it's
exactly.
breaking ground 26th of August, open 27 August.
Does anyone else hear a vibrating phone?
I do.
It's
I looked over there for a second. I thought it was you. I looked down here.
I'm
Well, you
so
did
glad.
that.
All right, so we have a draft you like to hear it?
Oh my God, sure, yeah.
No, it's not me, it's Ole.
I know.
Okay, dear members of the school board, on behalf of the Westlake Education Advisory Board, we respectfully request your reconsideration of the current zoning boundaries for Western Plains Middle School to include students residing in the city of Westlake. Westlake was designed as a master plan community with the intention of providing residents with convenient access to key services such as schools, parks, and public safety, all within city limits. The vision has been integral to the city's identity and appeal. However, the current school zoning configuration places an undue burden on our residents by assigning middle school students to campuses located further away outside of the city. This not only contradicts the foundational principles of which Westlake was developed, but also diminishes the sense of community and local connection that schools help to foster. Many Westlake families have voiced their concern and disappointment over the lack of a home middle school within the community. For parents and students alike, the ability to attend schools in close proximity encourages stronger neighborhood ties, increases participation in school events, and makes daily routines more manageable. The recent construction of a multimodal path connecting Westlake directly to both Golden Grove Elementary and Western Pines Middle makes inclusion of Westlake students at these schools a practical and forward-thinking solution. This pathway supports safer, more efficient commuting by foot, bike, or car, alleviating traffic concerns and further underscoring the logic behind rezoning. We urge the school board to align school zoning with the growth and needs of the Westlake community by including Westlake students in Western Pines Middle School. The district will not only ease transportation challenges, but also promote a stronger, more cohesive community for students and families alike. Thank you for your time and consideration. We welcome any opportunity to further discuss this matter and work together toward a solution that benefits both the school district and the families it serves.
I mean, you're the brains behind it, but thank you, chat. I mean,
Seriously.
it is
That's
scary.
awesome.
It's scary
Can we get
what
it
it
approved?
can do when you punch in a few
Where was
words.
this 10 years ago?
I
You
know.
can even tell it to like
I know,
write
it's
this from the
scary.
standpoint of a sixth grader,
Oh,
and it will like it's. I
My
use it.
My husband
all the
uses
time at work.
AI.
I
He builds
don't know
AI,
how
it's
English
crazy.
teachers survive these days.
I know, I
Well,
know.
there
Yeah,
you
English.
can run it through. They do have now checkers that can check for like word patterns that AI
They
uses.
do,
Yeah.
yeah. Do
But-
they have them in the schools?
Yeah, I mean, my son's at Ohio State, and it
I was
all
gonna say
runs-
universities have it.
Oh,
University,
1,000%, yeah.
But it also could be used as a tool, find a way to use it as a tool instead of
Well,
something that.
Yeah, as a tool.
Yeah, I would always check if there was a semicolon or a colon used at all in anything that my high school students wrote, because they didn't even know how to use a period after that. So if there was a colon or a semicolon, I was gonna Google that, and I was always right. But yeah, ChatGPT is amazing.
Well,
So I like the letter. Logistically, if the board votes on that tonight, would the letter be from the board or would that letter be from the city if it's presented to the city? Because the board will present this to the city.
That's a legal question.
Okay.
he's probably gonna say it should.
Well, I
come
would
from
write
the
it
city.
as the board
Okay.
and
Yeah.
then we'll submit it to the city council for the 6th.
Whatever gets more traction.
Yeah.
If JP has to hand deliver it himself, then
Or maybe actually it could be the board and the mayor signing it.
Okay.
We can do that and then
Yeah,
put on
that would be
letterhead.
good.
We'll have the mayor sign it first and then the education
Right,
advisory
yeah.
board.
Volunteers.
Education is
That might
volunteers.
work that way, and it's on letterhead, and that way it looks really official, and it's signed that way.
Well, this has a whole, I
Oh,
remember
no,
this
no,
when,
okay,
this
it has
is
to
from
verify
when
that it
Masha
was
left
me.
us, right?
it's like
This
a
has a
perfect-
boundary process flow chart. Spring, somebody supposedly proposing a boundary change, I don't know, take a look
Yeah,
at
it
this
was-
one,
I
Hockey. You
I actually
remember
just
that?
found this folder in my car a couple of weeks
Oh,
ago.
yeah.
But yeah,
It's like sort of, there's some actions that may have been taken that we don't even know about, I don't know.
Yeah, that's an internal.
Yeah.
School district thing.
Yeah, that's fine, I'm going to the school board meeting.
Okay.
Okay, so I'll just,
Okay, so I think those are all the hot topics from the, I had to get cut off though, they wouldn't give me any more time, they finally said. But I think we covered a lot of the topics that we've struggled with, and I think we made some progress, so we'll see how.
Well, and you provided an update to the council, so it's good.
D, now, are we ready to move on? Do you want us to wait while?
no, you're okay.
Okay. restaurant assignments and related letter and flyer. So we talked a little bit about the letter and flyer. I was taking a look at the letter that you nicely did at our last meeting, and I'm wondering, we put your organization name, so that would be the Education Advisory Board,
Volunteers.
huh? Volunteers, yeah. Can we put it in the closing of the letter, or do we have to have it in the body of the letter?
You can mention that you're the Education Advisory Board, but you're volunteers. I wouldn't say,
Okay,
I would not drop the word board. I would keep that. And we're all volunteers or something like that.
Like serving as volunteers. maybe?
Serving as volunteers on behalf of the city.
Yeah.
Council.
yeah, I'm
City
fine with
council.
that. Are you on that now?
No, not yet.
I'm like, oh my
I'm still
God.
tweaking the other one.
She's
No,
like a
I-
wizard.
What's this fundraiser? I don't even know where I saved it, to be honest. Ah,
That
here it
was
is.
from 3 months ago.
Yep, January. Yeah, right here.
Education Advisory Boards serving as volunteers.
On behalf of the city council.
on behalf of the city.
Where did we introduce ourselves?
Can we use the organization's name? Is
Are you
that
talking about like the
anywhere?
restaurant or the board?
The board or the city?
Yes, you can use the board thing,
All right,
especially if you want to attach it to the letterhead. Then it's official documentation from the city on top, where it says the city seal.
If you
I
wanna
know we
put the
can do
letter
that.
on this.
We can do
You
that.
can put the
Oh,
letter on that.
Yeah.
but we can use
Oh,
that?
can we
The
use
city
that?
council would have to approve it, but
Okay.
yes. That's something, so we're talking about now, so we can get it on, you said the 18th we need it? The 18th, we need to submit it to Zoe so she can get on the agenda for the 6th. So the council can see it in hand.
We serve as volunteers. What did you say?
On
On
behalf
behalf
of-
of the city council.
To use this, what do you?
Well,
call it?
once the letter's
Letterhead.
finished,
Seal?
They would
we
have
can
that.
present it to the council
With
already
that
on
on
that
it.
letterhead, so we can say, this is the sample.
I just don't wanna go through another meeting where they say, oh, you gotta do this, and then this stops us
Well,
from
this also
going
gives
out.
time for the attorney to ask questions before that meeting, so if we need to tweak something,
Should
Okay.
if you have to have an
redline it.
emergency
We
meeting, we can come
can-
back. We'll
okay.
quick
So you're
and
saying
easy.
we can't do this until the fall?
No.
Basically?
No,
No.
we're gonna have the council approve this at
Then how do we get
May.
back together and talk?
Well, what I'm thinking is we're gonna need another meeting.
You can have a
I
meeting.
think
We
we
meet
can
every
have
month
an
if you want
interim
to.
meeting where we just go over the assignments.
Okay,
And a few weeks after the council meets, and then we start going out. And we'll go over the list today.
And then right before school starts, you can also do another fundraiser, you know.
I don't know if it's gonna be too late.
I
When
know,
is school over? The second week of May?
Last week.
I'm thinking this is pretty tight.
You're thinking what? It's
It's
kinda
kind of tight.
We can start with like, the back to school.
Back to school,
Yeah.
Yeah, we might have to do
right
this
at the beginning of
after.
August,
Yeah, like a couple
Yeah.
weeks after school starts. we
or
just-
even after school, that's fine too.
Yeah.
Everyone's full of energy and
But go ahead and get this all approved, so when it's time, you can go.
Alright,
So that was the one
And then you
change,
can
right?
market it, or whatever that is, you
yeah,
know,
okay.
through
Yeah.
Facebook, and maybe they can put a flyer up at the restaurant that you're gonna be choosing for that next week, or whatever it
Yeah,
might be.
okay.
like we could even do a restaurant week, like you just said, or a month. Different restaurants per week or something.
Yeah.
Once we decide how we're gonna do it.
That was the only change, right? Just adding the volunteer piece.
And, yeah, putting that sentence in there and then putting something on the salutation, the closing.
So you all would need to vote on both those letters, this one and the rezoning. You have to
Okay.
vote amongst yourselves, so it can be passed on to the city.
Yeah.
council.
Okay, because we would need the letter and the flyer.
Now, can the letter have all the
Yes, you would have that top portion and the letter.
Even
would
with all
go
the names? Okay.
Then it looks official, and then we can also add your names at the end of it,
Okay.
the board members.
Okay.
Hopefully we'll have badges by that time. All right, downloading this one. Downloading the updated sample letter for the fundraiser.
Do you think we could have do you think we could have badges by the next meeting?
Depends on when your next meeting is.
The next council meeting?
The next council meeting?
Yeah.
So these I send to you, right? Do I send to you?
Send them to me and then
And
I'll send them to you.
Yes,
Okay.
but then
So I
like,
can review
like
them.
Vice Mayor said, you all need to vote on,
Each one
Oh,
has to be
yes.
voted on.
I would officially read the letter.
Okay.
Read the letter, and then you all have your vote that you're
Separate
approving
vote
it.
for each.
Correct.
Oh, okay, yeah, which one? Now, so why don't we look at this one quickly, because this one has to add something for volunteer. And would this be also on the letterhead?
Now that one, since it's I'm trying to think, we'd have to ask legal, but that one might be able to have a seal on it because it's on behalf, well, no, I don't think he's gonna allow that. You would have to put Westlake something, but not city. I'm thinking he's
Why
not gonna
would
let
he
you put the
allow
seal
it,
on
why
it.
would he allow it on the letter but not on this? What's your
Well,
take?
we can attach that fundraising to the letter, but I don't, because we're not supposed to be, the city cannot be raising money.
Right.
So that's why he probably will say no to the seal on
Then
there.
it
Even though it'd be
needs
great
to
to
say-
have, you would have to put like Westlake.
Maybe we could do like the City of Westlake logo. Not
No,
like,
it can't
not,
be.
they can't even be
I don't think he's
that.
gonna allow that on there.
Yeah.
No, not like the seal or anything like that, but like the signs when you come in. Like something that
Oh,
looks
I
like,
don't
yeah,
think there isn't a logo like
Yeah, with
that,
like
is
the
there?
pretty lake. With
the
the
little
yeah,
lake on the
like-
bottom, like, you know,
Yeah,
the big
I know
signs
what
when
it
you
looks
come in.
like, but how do we get that on the letter?
I don't see him putting that, allowing you to put it on there. You can have your letter with the letterhead with the city information.
With the flyer.
But
The
the
flyer,
flyer,
yeah,
I don't think he's
yeah.
gonna allow it. I can ask him, I just don't think he's
That's
gonna.
okay.
That's okay.
I think he's gonna see that as we're raising money, and he doesn't want the city
Yeah.
raising money.
That's okay though. So when parents see it in the
Yeah.
backpack, they don't really.
Yeah.
Because the 5Ks, that's considered an event, and
Okay.
that's already been approved by the council and run through the city, and all the money leaves. We don't keep the
Now you
money.
just said in the backpacks, we do this physically, paper?
Well, I think we should do it all. Like blast it on social media, but then also like the ones that I found out about are usually in my kids' like backpack and the
Who
folder.
pays for the printing?
You ask the school to do it, if we're gonna say,
Yeah.
we're gonna organize this and give this to all this money that, you know, we're doing the work for, can you print some flyers and put them in the backpacks
So just give the one and they print for the kids, okay?
and, or put it on your
Website, they
website.
probably have like a newsletter, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm sure.
Yeah, but if we can get them to print them and put them in their backpack, yeah.
Golden
Yeah.
Grove is really good about that. That's how they did everything. They were old school. They did everything paper.
Yeah.
So I know they'll for sure print it.
I mean, yeah, I'll volunteer and donate a ream of paper to a school that here's the papers, you guys can print it.
So what should we say on here in terms of volunteer fundraising event? Join us for a night of giving to support our local schools.
Well, what
Can
do
we
we
say
put the
organized,
specific
I was gonna say,
school?
can we
You
say
can say-
organized by the
You can say-
volunteer?
That might be allowed. We'll have to ask. The one thing is you could say fundraising event for Westlake schools. or
Okay.
Westlake area schools. I mean, I don't know what we can say. I don't think you're gonna be allowed to use the city of Westlake as the word.
Maybe we just do Westlake schools then?
Yeah, funding for Westlake schools,
Because you're only gonna be working on 3 schools.
right?
But they're not in Westlake.
They
One of them.
One of them is.
Oh,
Osceola's
No,
not.
those are
Osceola,
the-
we're not gonna, well, I guess we could if you guys want to do Osceola.
Yeah, let's just start with the other ones for now.
Osceola. Osceola is in Westlake.
It's not.
It's
No.
not.
It's all the way to Boonies.
Golden Grove's not in Westlake either.
Yeah,
You Golden
Yeah,
Grove
Golden
is-
Grove and
The
Western
address is
Pines are.
West Palm
Wait a
Beach.
minute.
Yeah, that's because they're using the zip code, and so they can't change it. School district told me they cannot change it to Westlake, even though it's zoned in our city limits, because it's the postal service classifies it not as Westlake.
Because
So
the
that's why
physical
they have to
address
get
is West
that
Palm
one.
Beach.
Wait a minute, but I was told that our schools were Osceola,
That's why we wanna do the rezoning, because
Osceola,
it's
Seminole
outside.
Ridge,
From the ridge
and Golden Grove.
and Golden
Right.
Grove.
Isn't that right? But
Yes.
you said no, it's not.
Osceola is
Osceola
not.
is not in Westlake.
We're zoned for it. That's
We're zoned
a
for it,
Westlake
but that's why we
school.
wanna
Go
do the
there.
rezoning.
Okay, I get it, all right. Who's
Yeah.
on first? Okay, yeah.
Not me.
Yeah.
Yeah, so,
Inside of Westlake,
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But
the 2
but
schools that
it's-
are right
its
here,
address
this is our
says-
city.
and
Join
Seminole
us for a
Ridge.
night
Yeah.
of giving
Well,
for-
but neither is Golden Grove, their address is West Palm Beach.
it's,
I know.
but it's still in the
But
city
it's in our
limits.
limits.
Okay.
It's in Westlake though. So it's not just in the zoning,
We have
it's
all these areas
actually
that use the
in
same zip
Westlake.
code.
Wow.
The only way that changes is if we get a post office, which that's not happening anytime soon. The
No.
postal service has their own
They're
problems.
Yeah.
Talk about people not happy. When you go into that post office, oh my God. When we have this down here, Friday is the date, 123. Oh, that's the,
That's
is
gonna
that
be
the
the
name
address
of the
of the,
restaurant?
yeah,
Okay,
so we'll put the restaurant name and the address there.
okay.
I changed already, join us for a night of giving to support Westlake schools. I mean, but realistically, we're gonna put the name of the school,
Right.
right?
You would change it, each
Yeah.
time you do the flyer.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And then
So we
make
have to
sure,
get
so
that
you
approved each
vote
time.
on, you also have to vote on this as a separate vote,
okay.
so we can get it back to the attorney to see all
Alright.
this stuff, so before
Why
it
don't
gets
we
put
just
on the
make
agenda.
3 of them?
What?
Right, we just have 3 separate flyers, one
Yeah,
for
let's
each
just do
school.
3.
One for each
And then
school.
we say, do you
Yeah,
vote?
let's do
Yes,
that.
yes, yes, yep.
That way we don't have to come
Yes,
back
yes.
and like edit and then re-vote again on the edit.
For the
Right.
logo for the restaurant, do we have to get the logo from them, to put it on these
Get it on
flyers?
online. Just get it
Oh, I
online.
think that's a good idea, because then we could see it, say to them, this is a marketing effort for you. This flyer is gonna go
Well,
to
it's-
everybody in their backpack.
Yeah,
Why
I don't think
not?
we
You
can.
can't, I don't think legally,
You can't put the
Trademark,
school
yeah.
name?
I
You
mean,
put
we
the
can
name,
use-
but
we
you
can
can't
put
use
the
the
school name,
restaurant.
but we can't use a logo
Logo.
or
Oh,
trade.
really?
Yeah,
So you can't
trademark.
use their logo, okay.
We can't advertise on behalf of somebody.
Ah,
Cause then probably it's gonna, corporate has to go to.
And then they have to vote, they have to vote, so we're never gonna get it. I mean, this is,
And so we just have to put the name of the
we just
restaurant.
put the name of the
I
restaurant.
thought we
which
had
is fine.
procedures at the college. Oh, boy. Yeah. Okay. All right, so should I make a motion that we move on?
No,
these three?
You can't make a motion.
Oh, I'm sorry. Would somebody like to make a motion?
So the letters have to be reread,
Okay,
and you can turn the laptop around to see the flyers. Cause you're obviously not gonna read that.
So this is Golden Grove Elementary. And I'm just gonna make it one for.
I'm trying to look at an email I want to read to them.
I think once we, this is totally separate for the future. I think once the school district picks their vendor, whoever's gonna build the school.
Yeah.
Whichever design they approve, we can maybe then have the school district, that might be September, October, come make a presentation. This is what your future school's gonna look like. Here's the contractor. Cause they'll have all those
Not
You know,
have to be done.
AI graphics and all that
I don't
stuff
know,
to show
it
us.
seems awful fast to me.
They do it in 1 year. It
They
takes
do?
less a year, but it's a
Really?
year.
Wait, we had to add that we're volunteers on the flyer too?
Yes,
Okay, so we have to
Yeah.
figure out.
that's why I
Can we
was,
say organized by,
Yeah, just organized by the,
Westlake's Education Advisory Board.
we can say Westlake
volunteers?
volunteer.
I don't know if you have to put volunteers. Cause it's, you're mentioning you're a city board.
I don't know, I thought he wanted it on
Did he
here
say that?
somewhere.
I'm just gonna say organized by the volunteers of.
I wouldn't
Yeah,
put it on.
just in
there.
case.
The
Hey,
volunteers
I
of
don't wanna
the
go back
Education.
again.
Education Advisory
Yeah,
Board.
organized.
Westlake's Education Advisory Board.
Yeah.
Just apostrophe this.
I do think that's confusing. I think there should not be volunteers. I mean, in my personal opinion.
I would
Because it
rather
almost
drop
sounds
it.
like there is another board, and then these guys are the members of the board, you know, because the board typically means people, a group of people.
We're just chopped liver over here.
I thought they were board members.
They are board members.
Yeah,
Elected board members.
I understand it's about like representation, like are they officially
I think we're
representing the
appointed,
city
we're
or
not elected. Yeah, we're appointed.
Or we're appointed.
Yeah,
That's true, wasn't an election, it was an appointment.
Let's see, I know somewhere else.
actually is right now. Silver Lakes area. It's gonna be the GL homes. I don't know if you can mention.
I've asked them to update these maps. They're really bad.
Yeah.
So this is this.
Yeah.
Minto owns this. GL owns this.
Uh-huh.
So what's coming, this will be divided in half. So
That's why they made
I don't
a
know
deal.
who's got what,
They made a
Yeah.
deal to like
So,
land swap.
because
Okay.
you need 2 entrances per fire code. So there was no way to get an entrance into GL. They're landlocked.
Thank you.
So
Right.
now this has to be divided. I don't know which one's which, but one of them's Minto and one of them's GL.
Okay.
I don't know what deal
But now
it
it's
is.
gonna be
Yeah.
west side,
Yeah.
east side.
You know,
Where are you on the
I
map,
would
Rick?
And
say,
they're coming, I think, next month, I
Soon,
think.
yeah.
We're moving back to Kansas. So.
Rick, can you explain that map? Where are you in the right corner? Just give me a landmark.
Here,
What-
Where
what-
we are?
What street are we on?
so this is Persimmon.
Okay, gotcha.
oh, all right.
Okay.
Of course, this is really outdated. This is not even what we look like.
That's
Okay,
But
say
when you're
West-
driving back there and you see that big, huge palm, there's a bunch of palm trees. It's a tree farm.
Okay, yeah.
So Minto owns all this.
Mm-hmm.
GL owns this. This was a farmer.
I was wondering where
Sold
GL was
out.
gonna build, okay.
Yeah, and sold this to GL. So they have to come, because fire needs to get into here, and you need 2 entrances. For, if something's broken with the first one and people can't get out, they have to get out some other way. So this has been divided.
When will they start building, do you know, Jill?
They're coming before the council, because it's public record now.
Yep.
I haven't seen it yet, but I know, once they submit something to the city, it's public. So, that we brought up, I think, next month or the month after.
Okay.
We'll approve that.
Okay, we really need to try to stick to the agenda.
Yes, we do.
I think we're getting focused.
Yeah. We can move on when she's typing that, right? Yeah.
You gotta keep the formality.
Okay, thank you, yes, that's right.
Okay,
We digress.
I'm done, so.
Okay.
All right, do you want to relook at the restaurant assignments now, again, now that we don't have, Keith Miller?
I'll just take Keith's because I already went to KFC and they said no.
All right, you don't have any.
I had, who did I have? I did last night. I had, thought I had
Yeah, no, money
Habit
for that.
Burger, KFC and
Okay.
Chipotle. But I guess I don't have KFC.
Well,
Starbucks, I think I
somehow,
have.
I don't know if this was a mistake in retyping, it might have been. I have myself with Pomodoro, Marco's Pizza, and
Yes.
Habitat, Habit Burger and KFC. I don't want four.
Oh, okay, then we're all mixed up here, because I had.
So.
I had KFC, they said no.
I think I had Starbucks and I don't even know what else, something that was.
Oh, we only need 3, right?
You had 3 natives in Starbucks.
Okay.
Is that
Yeah.
good?
I'll take Keith's.
And who has Taco Bell?
Keith actually
Gator Shack.
had Gator Shack.
Okay.
But don't we only need 3 restaurants? Oh, no.
Well, let's approach them all.
Yeah,
and see.
yeah.
Yeah, 'cause you make it turn out. Taco Bell.
We could
Taco
do
Bell.
the more the merrier. I'll do Taco Bell. So I'll do Gator Shack and Taco Bell.
I'll do Chipotle.
But we have the. well,
We
have
didn't
the-
even have Chipotle on the list.
Oh, we
I
don't?
think it wasn't open yet. We weren't sure when it was
Right.
gonna open at
Oh.
the time.
All right, so,
I'll do Chipotle
Chipotle.
and, what else is there?
There's 3. But then
There's
the natives
Marco's
thing.
Pizza, there's
Yeah,
Marco's
the
Pizza.
Pomodoro.
KFC is.
The
Chicken
chicken-
salad.
the
chicken
salad.
Chicken salad or whatever.
Yes.
Oh, that's really good.
I'll
Is
do
it?
3 natives.
Yeah. How about
I think I have 3 natives already.
You already have 3
Yeah,
natives?
I have 3 natives
She
from
has 3
Starbucks.
natives, and so let me go through. I have
Okay.
myself a Pomodoro and Marco's Pizza. I have Lisa for Taco Bell and KFC.
No, KFC is a hard no, but I'll do Gator Shack
Well,
for
I
Keith.
think we should just leave it there, even though, because that was, you want to take Gator Shack? All right.
Yeah.
I shouldn't. You can go to happy hour. Okay, so I have, you want to take Habit Burger?
Sure.
Because that's another unassigned one, it was under my list, so I'll do 2 and then you'll have 2.
I have Chipotle and Habit Burger.
Okay.
What about Taco Bell?
I have Taco Bell.
How you doing?
Yeah, she has Taco Bell. Did you get those? All right, so we did all those, and now we can, talk about new business, we have to vote
Not
again.
yet.
Not yet,
You have to
oh, got to
approve
make a
letters.
motion. Oh, no, we have to
You can
approve
move your
the
letters and your
Yeah,
flags.
Alright, so let's do flags first.
Yes.
Do I just show them?
You can just show them the
Okay,
ones up.
alright, I downloaded them all, so Osceola Creek. Alright, so we've got Osceola Creek.
Here, Bob, join us for a night of giving to support Osceola Creek. I don't see the word volunteer.
Organized by the volunteers of Westlake's Education Advisory.
Oh, I couldn't read this small.
So you have to
That
get rid of the
works.
logo.
That works, okay.
We just have to put the restaurant stand without the logo.
Yeah.
That what we have.
Oh, yeah, that's right, 'cause
Yeah.
we have a restaurant.
Yeah.
Okay. If you'll read it, if you'll read the actual flyer out loud for the record, please.
Okay. Yes, this is our sample fundraiser event flyer. And it says, join us for a night of giving to support Osceola Creek Middle School. This is just the example of one school. Then there would be the restaurant name. There we have to eliminate the logo. And this is, it says that it's organized by the volunteers of Westlake's Educational Advisory Board. And in the bottom, it would give you the date, the correct date that we would be approaching, and that the community would be approaching the restaurant, and the address.
I move to approve the flyer.
We have a motion to approve.
Did you say educational or education board?
It says Education Advisory Board.
Okay, thank you.
I move to approve the flyer for Osceola Creek Middle School.
Second,
We have a motion by Vice Chair Barron, seconded by Board Member for Lizzie. Roll call, Board Member for Lizzie,
yes.
Vice Chair Barron,
Yes.
Chair Kaplan.
Yes.
Board Member Lexler.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Thank you, board members.
And of course, we're not gonna have the logo, but here it is. Golden Grove.
You can mention the same flyer, just with the changes of this. You don't have to build it.
I don't have to show them the old one, I don't, no?
No.
Okay,
I'm
to
talking
read,
for,
you have to
for this
read
vote
this.
here,
Oh,
you can
okay.
say, we're looking at the same flyer, and we're gonna change, this one has this changed.
Do I have to say that now?
Yeah.
Yeah, so you don't have to read the whole thing again.
Okay, so we're looking at the most updated fundraiser event flyer, and the change is on
Name of the school.
So it's the same one as the one.
the name of the
Yeah.
school, right, will be varied based on the school that we're visiting at that time. And that it's organized by volunteers of Westlake's Education Advisory Board.
What school is this one? What school is that from? Golden Grove.
Golden Grove, this will be a night of giving to support Golden Grove Elementary.
Move to
And they
approve.
have the address of the school and the date.
Move to approve the flyer for Golden Grove Elementary.
Second,
Motion by Vice Chair Barron, seconded by Board Member for Lizzie. Roll call, Vice Chair Barron,
Yes.
Chair Kaplan,
Yes.
Board Member Lexler,
Yes.
Board Member for Lizzie.
yes.
Motion carries 4-0.
This is a flyer for Seminole Ridge High School. It's asking to join us for a night of giving to support Seminole Ridge High School. There will be the restaurant name. It will be organized by the volunteers of the Westlake Education Advisory Board. The date of the event will be on this flyer and the address.
Move to approve the flyer for Seminole Ridge High School.
Second,
Motion by Vice Chair Barron, seconded by Board Member for Lizzie. Roll call, Chair Kaplan,
Yes.
Board Member Lexler,
Yes.
Board Member for Lizzie,
yes.
Pull up your letter.
Vice Chair Barron.
Letters,
Yes.
Motion carries 4-0.
And once they're
Yeah.
read, you'll make a motion to approve that and add it, also have it added to the city's letterhead.
You're the one reading
I'll
it?
see,
Or-
sorry,
Osceola Creek, Seminole Pratt, and Golden Grove.
Golden Grove.
We're rich. Okay, all right.
Okay. And then who's reading it?
you're gonna read the letter.
Oh, I am. Oh, wow. Right. Okay, so this is the updated sponsorship letter, which reads the subject, sponsorship opportunities supporting Westlake Public School students. Dear business owner or manager, I hope this letter finds you well. My name is, that's her name, and I am reaching out on behalf of the Education Advisory Board. We serve as volunteers on behalf of the City Council and would love to explore an exciting partnership opportunity that would not only benefit your business, but also support the students of schools in Westlake. We are organizing a fundraising initiative to provide students with the opportunity to participate and after-school clubs such as robotics club, chess club, sports club, and other enriching activities. These clubs play a crucial role in fostering creativity, teamwork, and leadership skills among students, but many students are unable to participate due to financial constraints. We are seeking local food businesses like yours to partner with us by hosting a fundraiser on a night of your choice. The concept is simple. We invite families and supporters of schools in Westlake to dine at your establishment on a date and time frame of your choice. And in return, we kindly ask for a donation of 20% of the dining proceeds during that time. This partnership offers multiple benefits for your business: increased foot traffic from local families and community members eager to support a great cause, positive brand recognition and goodwill as a community-driven business, promotion of your business through our school networks, including flyers, social media, and school newsletters. We would love the opportunity to discuss this initiative further and work with you to make it a successful event. Please let us know if you would be willing to participate or if you have any questions. We truly appreciate your time and consideration and hope to collaborate to create a meaningful impact in our community. Thank you for your support, and we look forward to the possibility of partnering with you. Best regards, name, organization, contact information.
I'm just gonna ask a question. So I think I do remember you guys mentioning the 20%. Do you think that's gonna be too high?
That's what I was thinking.
We put it a little high in purpose, because it's
But
something we're
the
showing.
letter doesn't say that they can come
It'd
back
say,
and say,
yeah.
we want 10, we'll do
They
it
could
to
eat
10%.
it at 20%
I think
or
20 is
a
way high.
percentage, yeah,
With
or
the
a
way the market
percentage
is now,
deemed
I think
appropriate,
20 is
yeah.
high.
I
Just
don't-
say a percentage and not.
Yeah, just say a
number.
percentage like that.
Can you
Appropriate,
suggest
yeah.
the suggested 20%?
Can you just
Huh?
look it up at
You
20%?
can, yeah, skirt around it. I just think if you
Yeah.
say 20 and that's
20% is
it,
high.
I think that's gonna be like,
20,
no.
you think it's high?
Yes.
So we can just say
10% is a normal.
Yeah.
I would
Yeah,
say
they
we mainly,
went up to 15%. It had to do with the volume, they said.
And they can always choose to
They-
give
yeah.
more
Yeah, okay.
or give a separate check as well if they think it's a good cause. But I think for that, if I was a business owner being 20%, I'd
say,
be like,
whoa.
I
Especially
gotta
with
pay the employees rent, all
the economy
taxes,
right
I
now.
gotta.
Yeah.
Well,
so
that's
should we do
true.
10% or just say a percentage?
I say we start at 10%,
Yeah.
and the next go around, if they're all like, yeah, 10% is fine, then maybe the next time we go up to like 12 to 15%. But with
Okay.
just an overarching look at like how things are going with the economy right now, and
What can we say, like a minimum of 10% or?
First of all, is it
What's
net
the pro-
profit or is it gross? What are they basing it on? What is that? When we say 10%.
I would think
the 10%
it's
of,
gross.
isn't it 10% of sales for the night?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the
gross.
sales.
During
Well,
that,
gross
during those
sales, yeah.
time, during the time, it's
Yeah.
usually like a 2-hour window.
Which could be a lot, so I think, let's not beggar be choosers and do like 10%.
And especially if you're gonna go back to the multiple times throughout
That's true.
the year.
Okay.
So, do I have to reread the whole thing?
Do not, you
Okay.
don't. Somebody
Like, this
needs
is
to
a lot
make
of
a
pressure.
motion to approve that, making the change and then adding it to the city's council, city's letterhead.
Can I just say one thing? You didn't mention the newspapers, the Town Crier and the Wanderer,
Oh, wait, what did we put there?
but that's not considered social media.
Oh, you mean promotions of your business through our school networks, including flyers, social media, and school newsletters?
Yeah.
Yeah, we can do that.
I mean, does that make sense that's a major advertising here?
School
Can
networks.
we use your?
Absolutely.
But no,
Through our school networks. Oh, but I think it's because we said business through our school networks. So maybe we just
Such
say
as-
through our
such as-
community networks
Community
instead.
Yeah.
Community networks, including flyers, social media. What are you, a blog?
Yeah, blog.
Okay. And then what's the other one? Town criers, what, a local publication?
It's out of Wellington.
Oh, just kidding. So not
But
Town
they
Crier.
cover our stories.
Okay.
They're our local.
We'll just say blogs. And the town crier wants to jump in. Okay, yeah,
So motion to approve letter as read, with the exception of changing 20% to 10% and including blogs as well as the letterhead from the city.
Second,
Yeah, but blog, okay, blog.
Sorry.
Okay, could be more than one, I guess, but it's only one that I know of. Yeah.
We have a motion by Vice Chair Barron, seconded by Board Member for Lizzie. Roll call, Board Member Lexamer.
yes.
Board Member for Lizzie.
Yes.
Vice Chair Barron.
Yes.
Chair Kaplan.
Yes.
Motion carries 4-0.
I just want to remove the ones that we're not keeping.
I thought you were talking about the sound of the word blog. But you were talking about blog versus blogs, plural.
There might be a couple more
Well,
blogs out there.
if
that-
it
might be.
doesn't name one, it probably should be plural, right?
We were gonna do one for the orchards, but then at the end of the day, no one wanted to do anything for it, so I paid for like the site, and I'm like, I'm not.
That's like all the people that, were so upset when the committee was gonna be disbanded. We're wondering, well, where are these people now that wanna be on the committee? Just don't ask me to do them.
Exactly.
They're
Yeah.
keyboard warriors.
Yeah.
Okay, so now the Westlake rezoning letter. I shall read my speech. Okay, it is addressed from Westlake Education Advisory Board with address, I guess we don't need to
You don't
know,
remember that.
right? I don't need any of this. Alright, so we'll take this off. Okay. Okay, has the date, the Palm Beach School Board address, then it says, dear members of the school board, on behalf of the Westlake Advisory Board, we respectfully request your
City of Westlake Advisory Board,
on behalf of the
Education Advisory Board.
City of Westlake Education Advisory. Okay, so on behalf of the City of Westlake Education Advisory Board, we respectfully.
Apostrophe S, Westlakes.
Possessive. Okay, on behalf of the City of Westlake's Education Advisory Board, we respectfully request your reconsideration of the current zoning boundaries for Western Pines Middle School to include students residing in the City of Westlake. Westlake was designed as a master plan community with the intention of providing residents with convenient access to key services, schools, parks, and public safety within city limits. The vision has been integral to the city's identity and appeal. However, the current school zoning configuration places an undue burden on our residents by assigning middle school students to campuses or to a campus located farther away. Does it matter?
It's just the one, isn't it? So
Yeah.
Campus.
Yeah, okay. Assigning middle school students to a campus located farther away outside of the city. This not only contradicts the foundational principles of which Westlake was developed, but also diminishes the sense of community and local connection that schools help to foster. Many Westlake families have voiced their concern and disappointment over the lack of a home middle school within the community. For parents and students alike, the ability to attend schools in close proximity encourages stronger neighborhood ties, increases participation in school events, and makes daily routines more manageable. The recent construction of a multimodal path connecting Westlake directly to both Golden Grove Elementary and Western Pines Middle makes inclusion of Westlake students at these schools a practical and forward-thinking solution. This pathway supports safer, more efficient commuting by foot, bike, or car, alleviating traffic concerns and further underscoring the logic behind rezoning. We urge the school board to align school zoning with the growth and needs of the Westlake community. By including Westlake students in the Western Pines Middle School zone, the district will not only ease transportation challenges, but also promote a stronger, more cohesive community for students and family alike. Thank you for your time and consideration. We welcome any opportunity to further discuss this matter and work together towards a resolution that benefits both the school district and the family it serves.
You said multimodal, did you mention car in there? Can cars go in that?
No.
I think you mentioned car, did you?
And instead of family, I said
Carts.
families.
Carts.
Cars.
Carts.
Cars.
No, I think it did say cars, so let's do both cars. And then, sorry, what was the one you said too?
Instead of family, families. The last thing you read. I thought you said family.
Thank you for your time and consideration. We welcome any opportunity to further discuss this matter and work together toward a resolution that benefits both the school district and the families it serves.
Oh, it says families.
The car, we gotta get rid of the car, where is that? This pathway supports safer, more efficient commuting by foot, bike, or car. So we'll do golf.
Golf
Can we say
cart.
golf cart?
Yes.
Or is it like,
I
can
thought
say
it
cart.
didn't like.
You can say cart,
Okay.
yeah.
okay, so this pathway supports safer, more efficient commuting by foot, bike, or carts, alleviating traffic concerns and further underscoring the logic behind rezoning.
Yay.
Man, I felt like I was in like literature class all over again. Whew, the pressure.
A plus.
Unless somebody needs to.
Move to approve the letter to the zoning committee at the district offices.
Second.
and put it on letterhead.
Oh, yes, with the logo, town
Yeah.
logo, city logo. Second.
Motion by Vice Chair Barron, seconded by Board Member for Lizzie. Roll call, Board Member for Lizzie,
Yes.
Vice Chair Barron,
Yes.
Chair Kaplan,
Yes.
Board Member Lexler.
Yes.
Motion carries 4-0.
You know, I would just suggest too, if you get a chance to go to a board meeting, particularly when there's a topic coming up. I don't know if have you been lately at all?
I haven't
Not the
been
board,
lately,
like the council meetings, I'm sorry.
Oh, the council meetings, yeah, I typically go to like every other one. It just depends on like what my work schedule is, and
Right.
sometimes because I work out of Utah,
Oh, different my time schedule.
different time
Wow.
schedule, yeah,
I
so
don't have your email.
sometimes
You don't have my email?
I feel like you do. Maybe
You can't send me an email.
I thought I can. It's not, this is not to you. Who do I send this
You
to?
get to send it to Zoe. The top
Oh,
side.
Okay.
And then I'll send it.
And then I'll
What
send it
email
out
do
to
you
the
guys
board
have for me? I wonder.
for you.
Yeah.
If you ever have a question for me, don't feel like you can't contact me. You just have to go through,
Right.
Zoe. I know.
Anita, what we better read us from an email?
Crystal, that's not you.
Huh?
We better read us an email.
I know, I can't find it, so I have to tell you about it.
Oh, okay.
All right, so,
All right, so I'm gonna attach all of those documents.
Yeah.
Documents. For
For the city council agenda for May 6th, and the letters need to be attached to city letterhead to present it to the city council members.
I'm putting that in the body.
Unless, does she have to do that, or do you want her to spell all that out, or are you good? Okay, so then just
No?
send it to her.
Okay.
No, because
She knows.
I actually need to double check, because I have to put it in draft form, so I need to make sure that, does it need to be on the letterhead in draft form or truly a draft form?
Okay.
That's
Would
all.
you rather, what,
You can send it just as
format?
you have it,
Okay, but I have a PDF, is that okay, or would you like Word
send
document?
in Word, please, thank you.
She might have to cut and paste and put it onto the, if we do the letterhead, for the attorney to approve.
Our friend, our bestie.
can I add a new item to new business?
No.
No? So we can't talk
What was
about it.
required?
Oh, what was it? In PNG, I think.
We made it.
Apply
anything
format?
We're still talking about?
I think
Huh?
And we
PNG,
made it
the
anything
image.
we're still talking
Do you
about?
prefer something else?
And probably PDF would be.
PDF?
Yeah, please,
No
thank you. If you have an update, you can bring it up under, board member comments.
Okay, because this happened after I sent this in.
Quick question for rules. The board needs to approve the school that the 5K money is going to tonight, so we can present that up. We can't do it.
This board would not approve it, it would be council approving it, and we have not determined that there are excess funds.
Oh, okay. So your next meeting, we'll discuss that.
I thought we were going to make an order, like elementary, middle, high school. Is that what we talked about?
With
in
a
one meeting?
rotation, whatever you
Yeah.
decide to do.
Okay.
So
Okay.
your next meeting, we'll bring that back.
Thought you're not, well, you could be a public comment.
Well, no,
No.
we
No.
don't know we don't know how much
Yeah, we
funds are
don't.
left.
Okay,
Last year was 2,000 and change.
yeah.
We'll see what this year is.
All right, so do I have to make a motion to move to new business, or can we move on to new business? Okay. So I was noticing that terms for, or not noticing, I think I was reminded, for chairman and vice chairman are for a year. So we need to have a new vote, or a new nomination, or a new, whatever you like to call it.
That happens now?
Yes.
You can,
And then the term is up in April, the 1 year, believe it or not, and will run through April 2026.
so the board can nominate, a new chair, or you can nominate, Chair Kaplan to remain.
I nominate.
Same thing as the vice chair, but I need 2 separate votes.
I nominate Chair Kaplan to stay.
I second that nomination.
Can I nominate somebody?
You can nominate, but you would have to identify passing the gavel to vice chair.
Yes, I would like to pass the gavel to Lisa Barron.
I will accept
Who
said gavel.
If she agrees,
I accepted.
thank you.
Second, someone have to second that?
No.
Okay.
So now you can make you pass the gavel, so now you wanted to make a motion, you want to make a nomination. So what's your nomination?
Oh, now I have to make a nomination for Lisa Barron to serve as.
She's like, I want Lisa Barron to be it.
I mean, what are we doing?
So you pass the gavel in order to make the nomination, so now you have to.
Oh,
say
now
your-
I can make the
Correct.
Yes.
nomination.
Yes.
All right, I would like to make the nomination that Lisa Barron continue to serve as our illustrious vice chair.
Second?
Sorry, I didn't have a fancy adjective.
No.
Okay, so.
I return the gavel to Chair
Correct.
Kaplan.
So we need to have an official motion on the first nomination of Chair Kaplan. So I need a motion and a second for that first.
I motion Chair Kaplan to remain as our captain.
I second the motion.
We have a motion by Board Member for Lizzie, seconded by Board Member Lexima. Roll call, Vice Chair Barron,
Yes.
Chair Kaplan,
Yes,
Board Member Lexima,
Yes.
Board Member for Lizzie.
Yes.
Motion carries 4-0. Now we need the second motion for the Vice Chair nomination.
Okay, I nominate motion for Lisa to be the vice chair.
I second that motion.
Motion by Board Member for Lizzie, seconded by Board Member Lexima. Roll call, Chair Kaplan,
yes.
Board Member Lexima,
Yes.
Board Member for Lizzie,
Yes.
Vice Chair Barron.
Yes.
Motion carries 4-0. Thank you.
Wow.
Thank you.
That was awesome.
Okay, so now, item B is the potential for a trade showcase. We had talked about that briefly. I think it was really Keith Miller that brought us to really talk about the opportunities that exist for trade shows. I don't know that this is something that we can do right away, but I think it's something certainly to think about. I know that the high school does a lot, but I think it would be worthwhile to try to bring some format where what they do we could maybe start to entertain giving students their parents some information about what opportunities there are in the trade school. I don't know off the top of my head all the programs. Could you get a list of the trade school programs?
Also, I found out when I was there for work a few weeks back that their like automotive program, they supply, the students are the ones that do like free oil changes and tire stuff for the staff.
Yeah.
They do it for the staff. So I was thinking maybe if we are gonna do a showcase, that would be something really cool to do. I mean, it could be fundraiser based as volunteers as well, like where the students, you know what I mean, like to raise money for their school, the students perform donation based oil changes and things like that. That might be
It's
I think
on
all
Seminole
these-
Ridge.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think
Yeah.
most of the trades that they do get hours, like
Right.
within the trade, they work with the
like,
community, like you can go get like
internships or something.
Yeah.
your hair cut for $10 or something by
Right.
someone in
That's why I was
cosmetology
thinking
school.
that might be, because I know my son goes to H.L. Johnson and they have a green club and they raise their own like fruit and vegetables and they sell it at the green market.
Ah.
So I was thinking maybe for us, we would do something similar but with their trades.
I wonder if we could maybe do, obviously this would be down the line, help, like, and I'm sure they might already do this, but like a night where they showcase the trades. And we invite the community to come.
Exactly, something like that.
Well, I
yeah.
know through Habitat for Humanity, which our Florence club's involved in, they build a home in
They
there.
do,
Yeah.
they build a whole.
One year,
Yeah,
one a year.
Yeah, so that would be a beautiful showcase.
yeah.
Can we get them to come? Sorry.
Well, you know, my background and my interest a little bit is in the trade programs because when I worked at Palm Beach State College, they have a huge trade program across campuses on welding and building and electrical and plumbing and heating and, I mean, it's the whole route. But it would be nice to be able to expose them to some of those folks. when I brought that up some time ago, the attorney wasn't crazy about it because he said it's not a part of Westlake. And I'm thinking community colleges or state colleges are not part of any one city.
Right,
They're sort of organized in terms of districts, for want of a better
We
word.
would have to work with the principal of the high school to maybe do some sort of career night, but I'm sure when they do like college fairs, that's something that's probably advertised, being as like, it's,
Yeah,
It's
we
a
should look into
crossover,
that. See,
yeah.
you know, I know that they had a counselor
Oh, yeah, the Dems.
planted from the college in the school.
Yeah.
For a time.
Yeah.
Yeah, if we
That'll
can
be
piggyback on
fall.
something like that, that would be good. Maybe this is something we can think about for, you know, starting to really fashion it in the fall.
I'll set up a meeting with the principal.
Could we have the principal come and talk to us? Because, you know, we had Osceola Creek and we had,
I invited him.
yeah,
He says that he does have a lot of after-school engagements just because there's a lot more after-school activities, football, baseball, basketball, that he does go to.
yeah.
But I think sports is somewhat over at this point, but I'll ask him, but I'll see if there's something.
Maybe
that
give
we
him
can do
the,
with
like,
it.
what our ideas are. I'm sure you
Yeah.
haven't turned down opportunity to raise some money.
Yeah, tell him, you know, we want to help him.
Well, he wants a sign, he wants a scoreboard.
Oh, I remember you saying that.
Yeah, he wants a
Yeah.
scoreboard, and he wants a snack shack or something like that. So a concession
Why is
stand.
Al Packer on that school board
Because he
now?
sponsored it, he paid for it.
But he's not even anywhere near the,
It doesn't matter. You could have the Ohio State University. It's fine as long as they buy it, and the school doesn't have to. They'll put a name on anything.
well,
If you
this
guys
is,
meet in the summertime, he can, between June and August.
Oh,
you can
yeah.
probably
true.
grab him to
Okay.
that point.
That's true.
yeah.
Okay.
I like
Yeah.
that. Okay. I just said that.
Then there's no after-school program.
Okay, the business cards and the EMB as volunteers, we kind of covered that already in the other area. So
Yep.
I think we're all set in terms of new business. Ta-da.
Just turning it off.
It was beautiful. Okay, so do we have any board member comments, reports, or updates? Any other visits that you've done to the schools or? No?
I just have enough, well, comment, actually just to bring to everyone's awareness, because we have many people listening online here. That Presswind has, the community that we're donating, we're awarding 2 scholarships to high school seniors. One hopefully will be a trade, one to a Florida college, and we need more applicants. The application date ends April 19th.
Wow.
So if you have anyone in mind that wants to apply for a scholarship, $1,000 for 2, please send them to their school counselor to do that.
Mhm.
That's at Seminole Ridge.
Have a little
Okay.
bit.
All right, cool.
Anybody else?
I will mention one thing. The city has already posted it, but the Florida League of Cities is doing a $5,000 scholarship for students that are wanting to work in government or studying government in college. For, you know, do municipal work, it could be any trade, but that application is due May 1st. It's a $5,000 scholarship.
Wow.
to
That's
current
awesome.
college students that are wanting to get involved with government later on, whether it be in their, you know, working for some improvement district, could be whatever that might
Yeah.
be. Water, could be municipal clerk, could be anything like that, but they're giving that out, so. just
How,
mention that.
how is that information being disseminated?
So I know that the Florida League has put it out and,
Okay.
I know our city has already posted it on
They
our
have posted
website.
it,
I
okay.
actually posted it on my page too as
Okay.
well, that it's available, but the cutoff is May 1st. Which is
Yeah.
not that far.
That would be good to get it on.
Nice little Westlake wonder.
Anything else? Okay, so public comments.
Not all at once.
I know, right? There's so many public comments, it's crazy. crazy.
I have some too, but you go first.
Oh.
No, that's fine.
I thought the,
Yeah, you're a board member.
yeah, you're
No,
supposed
no.
to finish your.
Yeah, you finish yours first, go ahead.
Okay, well, there was an email that I received probably Friday, I think, maybe Thursday, and it also went to myself and it went to the mayor. Have you heard about this?
I saw the email.
Oh, okay, and this was from, I think he's the
Roger did.
general manager, or he has a high rank at Roger Dean Stadium, which is the, I don't know, what do they call it, the A or the B level place where they practice for the Cardinals, for the
Minor
St.
league.
Louis Cardinals.
Okay.
And they have a very nice stadium. Some of you have probably been there. Have you been there?
Mhm.
No. And he was volunteer, and we don't know how he caught wind of this. He was offering that maybe we could do a fundraiser
It was
for
me.
Westlake.
It's Westlake Wonder, Chad.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, Chad. All right, that's where he got it.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. And he thought about us, the Educational Advisory Board, to be the recipient of some portion of the funds. So JP, the mayor, jumped right on it and said, yes, I'm interested. I didn't say anything because I was afraid.
Zoe would be
She made
right
me
on you.
afraid. And I said, this sounds very exciting. I'm really interested, but I have to defer to the mayor on this. And I think that the mayor got back to him and said he would be delighted to talk with him and I about this. I called JP. I said, I didn't want to say anything about this. It sounded like a great opportunity. And he was very excited about it. So I said, it's not in Westlake. Is that a problem? So,
It'd be like Westlake night at the game.
yeah, that's
Yeah.
what he was
at
saying.
Roger Dean Stadium.
That does sound
And
fun.
then I had happened to mention to him that you had mentioned about, is it Dr. Hatcher? I don't know, or Mr. Hatcher. Wanted to replace the school board for the football team.
Yeah.
And he said maybe the St. Louis Cardinals would fund that. So I thought, all right, that's something that, you want to talk to them about, let's talk.
Yeah.
So he was driving on his way to Tallahassee when I talked to him. So we didn't set up a time to talk yet, but I think it will be coming soon. So I thought that was an exciting way to raise some substantial kind of money. And I'm sorry, I didn't even think that it was through the Wanderer that he
That's
saw
all right.
it.
Yeah, no worries. Yeah.
Yeah.
The magic woman over
I only know
there.
because he contacted me to ask who to contact
Oh,
about it.
oh, okay, all
That's
right,
awesome.
yeah.
I
And
love
so
it.
that's really exciting, yeah. So we'll see.
Maybe we can
What
put just like a
happens?
little graphic
You
at the
didn't hear
bottom.
anything? He didn't mention
Westlake
anything to
Education
you?
Advisory
JP?
Board.
Volunteers.
We can't talk about
Volunteer.
Oh, that's right, you
Yeah.
can't
I saw
talk,
the
right.
email and I just
Yeah.
deleted it because I can't.
Okay, yeah, that's good.
Because you sent me the email, so
Yeah,
I
I
was
wanted
like, I
to try
can't.
to keep you in the loop. Yeah. So thank you very much.
I know nothing.
Now it's your turn.
Okay, hi everybody. Do I have to say my name and address? Alicia Torres, 5847 Whippoorwill. Just as an aside, before I get to the real business, I did drive past the scoreboard, and took a good look. That thing is ancient.
Tell
and
me
it's
about
really
it.
sad.
I
because
know.
My understanding is that Summer Rouge has some pretty good football
Yes,
players.
they
and
do.
Yeah,
everything,
yeah,
So
it is really
that would
sad.
be
but
really
yeah,
nice to
I
get
know.
jazzed up
Yeah, I saw that one.
Yeah.
or completely replaced.
I don't know if you can mention anything about this yet, can she?
No.
Mention that it's
I
something.
It's
already
not city
did.
business, so-
I did. I thought these meetings were public record.
That's true, all right,
Yeah.
okay.
and
It's
I
not
already
coming
did.
before the council, so I don't.
Too late.
Our video
Yeah.
goes to YouTube, FYI, so
Yeah.
it's very public.
Yeah.
Many viewers, I'm sure.
I'll have my dad check it out. Big Bob
He'll
in
be so
Ohio.
Okay, so school, all right. I did have one issue with the verbiage on the flyer, and I know this is too little too late, but just something to keep in mind for the future is that the word giving was used. And I just know how stingy people are, and the word giving implies that you give something without receiving anything. And that's not really the deal, right? The deal is that
Yeah.
you buy food like you normally would. You're not paying any more than you normally would. It's just a percentage is coming out of there.
Oh,
So maybe fundraising or some other, thesaurus word for giving. And then also, on the flyer, do you want to include the actual agreed upon deal so that people know they're getting 10% or 15% or 20%? I don't know.
Too.
And then lastly, I think this is way too onerous to do, but I think it would be kind of neat if, like you guys were talking about what the schools need, and like the scoreboard, for instance, or, third grade aftercare programs,
Aftercare programs
Yeah.
were big, we
Yeah.
heard about that, and it's,
Or even like we're talking about these fundraisers where some of the kids just don't have money and everyone's eating the Ritas, so something like that, if they could actually earmark, exactly where it's going, or if that's too difficult for the schools to do, or maybe the
No,
schools are
they're
just.
pretty good about it.
Okay,
Yeah, that's a good
all
idea,
right.
because they are pretty good about it, because I know, like, I was a sponsor for a school, and they make you check where you want your funds
Oh,
to go.
yeah, perfect.
Like ESC department, materials.
I figured they would know where the needs
Yeah,
are.
I like
so.
that, okay, so adding percentage.
Yeah, I was shocked when I heard that the after-school programs cost about $300.
Yeah,
How
it's
do
not true. You have
students do
two
that?
kids,
Yeah.
3 kids.
How do parents do that?
You can't change the wording now.
Right,
because
yeah,
you've
it's just a
already voted.
note.
And thank you guys so much, and even you Zoe, thank you for staying late, thank you for being the liaison, you guys are awesome.
Thank you for getting the word out.
Yeah,
With all
I
of
thank
our
you,
viewers.
I thank her every time I see her.
I know.
You guys are good.
Alright, so at least we have that, like, for future reference. I think that's a good point.
So are we
You can
adjourned?
decide when your next meeting is.
Yes,
Since
let's
you're
do
all
that.
And of course, at the next city council meeting, the council will vote on your next 2 members. One will be decided amongst the group who's gonna be the actual voting member and one will be the alternate.
So
So
there's only 2, right?
there's only
So
2.
they
You don't get
automatically
to say,
like-
the council decides that.
Okay.
So the council meeting is
May 6th.
Fifth?
6th.
6th, you got it, it's right now, right. So. Maybe we will know more about the Cardinals by then. Well, I'm gonna be out of town from the 24th on for a couple of weeks, so. Can we do something the week of May 12th?
I will be out of town.
We'll be out of town that week.
It's 10th through the 17th.
Spring break.
No, my
Yeah,
birthday,
nice.
going on a cruise.
Oh, no. All right, how about the next week?
That's when you're out of town, right?
About the week of May 19th.
Yes,
Is that when you're out?
I don't leave until the 24th.
Okay. I'm good that way.
What day of the week
Same.
is best for everybody?
Tuesday or Wednesday.
Tuesday or
It's
Wednesday?
summer, so
Works for me.
good.
Yeah, anything but Monday. I have late meetings on Mondays.
Okay,
Hopefully you guys should stick to a Thursday.
Okay.
So the 22nd?
Or is it 22nd, clerk's office is not available.
okay. The office is available on the 22nd?
It's not.
It's not.
It's not.
The next one's the 29th, May 29th. You
Huh?
don't want to be here, May
I won't be
29th. you
here.
won't be here.
So 20th or 21st, Tuesday or Wednesday?
Can we make an exception for the Thursday rule, or do you think we should just stick to?
Oh, I mean, we're not
Well,
doing
she
it
said
every third month.
it's not,
No,
Oh.
no, the clerk's office, that week of the 19th will not work.
Oh, the whole week, okay.
oh,
No, I thought she said that we had to stick to Thursday, but.
So June 5th, that's a Thursday.
I'm not back until the 8th,
Okay.
the 12th, the 12th?
June 12th,
I'm away for work.
June 19th.
I'm out of the country.
What about the 15th?
Sunday of June?
It's Father's
Oh,
Day.
we're in May, okay, we're in.
Yeah, it's Father's Day.
So we're in June now?
Now we're in June, we're done with May.
Oh, okay.
So you said you're out of town on the 12th?
The
No,
19th.
I'm out of
I'm out of
town
town as well.
Oh,
from I can do the 16th,
So Monday.
a Monday.
That's not good for me.
The
I
only-
mean, we might just have to do it when one of us isn't here.
Yeah, as long as you have a quorum, you can hold a meeting.
Yeah.
Okay.
How about Tuesday, the 17th?
We're back in May or June.
We're in June.
June.
Okay.
He's like, you guys are some busy ladies.
Do we have to do it Thursday?
That was, yeah.
So if you guys wanna do the 12th, that's okay, and we just be down me,
June 12th?
cause that seems like the day that everyone is available.
Let's put up to June 26th. That's a good thing.
My
I think
fear
that
is
we're
that we're
pushing
getting
out.
too close to school year, and we
Yeah,
wanna try to
too
get
close.
everything ready
Yeah.
for fundraising, you know?
Okay.
June 3rd, who was out?
Me. I'm out of the country. Which
So I think the 12th, I think
June
12th
12th.
is what we're gonna do.
June 12th?
Who would be out?
I will be out. I don't think my flight gets into like
If we have to fuss with any of the flyers again, we lose a key person.
She can, I'll bring my laptop.
There you
If you
go.
wanna email me,
Yeah.
or Zoe can email me whatever she has, and then I can fuss around with it.
So June 12th,
Okay,
6 p.m.
thank you.
6 p.m.
So put it on here just in case, because flights are crazy these days.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe venture for the campus.
Back June 12th?
I do, like 9 p.m. we have to go to Jersey.
You might still be working. Just pop in.
So I should get an agenda to you before I start traveling, right?
Yes. When did you say you leave?
I leave on the 24th of May.
So if you can get it to me by that Friday,
Okay.
the 23rd.
Anything else?
That's it, I sent everything to Zoe,
Thank you.
and we should be good.
Thank you for
So
so
we're
very much.
adjourned. Thank you, everybody.
Thank
This was
you.
a
Thanks,
long
guys.
meeting.
I know, it was a long, but we got far.
Then we have
Did
to
a lot.
adjourn. Then we have to adjourn.
Oh, yeah. You have to end the meeting?
We have to adjourn.
We
You have to
haven't
end the meeting?
adjourned?
Have we? So we adjourn?
You are adjourned.
Oh,
Yeah,
we're.
Oh, yeah, we didn't need a motion, I
I need a
guess.
motion, no, I missed it.
Yeah, there is.
I have some of this stuff, Joey, but not all of it. Do you want this back?
You can keep